Well, good evening, life groups. Great to be with you tonight, and I've got with me tonight Tim Bennett, our church executive, and we're going to have a little bit of a discussion around the campuses in the last 3 weeks, just speaking on this topic of everyone believe for one, and we're just going to have a bit of a yarn about that tonight. But before we start about that, I wondered if you want to talk about your hair routine. How do you keep your scalp looking like that?
As you well know, it's a daily shaving routine,
Yep.
Moisturising routine as well, daily, which
Yep.
I never used to have a moisturising regime until I shaved my head. How about you?
Yep, no, definitely got to get the moisturiser in there, I've noticed. The shave's easy,
Yeah.
but you don't want dry scalp, do you?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I copied you actually. I'm not going bald at all. I just went for the look.
Neither am I. For all the balding men out there, though, to be honest, in the summer, much easier to get that sunscreen in with a bald head than with parts of hair. So just go all in, shave it off this summer. You'll thank me later.
Yeah. Sorry, ladies, it's a manly conversation to start with, but I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed that many men want this haircut, but their wives won't let them. I've had guys go, "Oh, I'd like your haircut like that, but there's no way my wife would let me."
My wife made me do it.
Did she?
Yeah.
Sick of your bald
absolutely.
spot? Or?
Yep. She said it's
You're
time.
looking old.
She said it's time. Yeah.
Get rid
Much
of
to
it.
my daughter's disappointment. But
Yeah.
my wife was all about it. So
Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Oh, good. Thanks, Tim, for joining me.
That's all you needed me for?
That's it. You can go now. Yeah, no, not at all. This is a topic for me that's close to my heart. Talked about the variations to evangelism. How do we reach lost people for a very, very long time, off and on in different ways? Really taking Matthew 28, the Great Commission, really seriously, and really having a heart for, I guess, are we winning in this area? Are we doing well? Is the church across the world doing well? And I'm sure it is in pockets, but when I mean the church across the world, the individuals who make up our churches, how do you engage in evangelism with comfort and confidence? And I think it's a topic that's a challenge, and that's where this everyone believe for one came from. We've just been through the M3 season, and I was spending time with God and feeling like, how good was that? And it was. I mean, how good was it? It was incredible, and felt the Lord just really challenged my heart. And yet this one area going to see an improvement in, which is not just seeing transferred growth or, our church growing at the expense of other churches.
Yeah.
But
You've given this message at all three locations now. And if you haven't watched it, I'd encourage you go back and watch it. It's impactful. It's really interesting. But your natural bent as a person, you are an evangelist.
Yeah.
So when you were first saved, you were telling everybody, everywhere, all the time.
Yeah.
You're at the pub telling people about Jesus.
Yeah.
Now that you're in the role you're in here at church, it's probably less able to do that in some ways.
Yeah, and it's really, really, really good. I think I've struggled with this over the years. It's like, well, why did the Lord bring me to the church when I was so effective out there? When I say so effective, willing participant in the mission to reach lost people, share with everybody, supermarket aisles, wherever we went. Angela, so I'm just talking to random people, and then find myself in the context of church leadership, youth pastoring, through my journey here. But I had a false understanding of what, if you've got the gift of evangelism on your life, one of those roles for evangelism is to equip God's people for the work of the ministry, not to do the ministry. It doesn't negate the fact that I should still be reaching out to people who don't know Jesus, but I realize I've got a responsibility in my life to equip God's people to live every day on mission. That Pentecost, when the day of Pentecost happened and the Holy Spirit was poured out, it was so that people would be my witnesses wherever they went. This was we moved into the era of ministry as every follower of Jesus, filled with the Spirit, witnesses across the planet. So the role of being a witness was every believer. But what I've noticed is people find this really hard. And I think I mentioned it's the area we want to bury our head in the sands with. I don't want to kind of contemplate having to reach lost people because I don't know where to start. I'll do all the other things, but that one seems to be a really big struggle, particularly with a Western mindset. People don't want to hear about it. People don't want to know about it. So it's sacred to me, so I'll keep it to myself.
But probably one of your revelations, and that's come with maturity in your life, is
some maturity.
Not when it comes to bald heads.
Yeah.
The maturity in life is the realization that evangelism is not just getting decisions.
No, that's right.
It's making disciples, right? And that's a key part of what you talked to us about on Sunday. Was Christians, all believers, the church, the people, the church, are called to make disciples.
That's right.
Talk me through that in terms of how you would see that differently now than when you first became a believer, and you were in the pubs telling people about Jesus. Was there much discipleship going on back then, or not really?
No. So for me, it's both. It's both getting someone to the point where they want to make a decision to follow Jesus. The problem was, I think you can get people to a point where they go, yeah, I can see my need of this Jesus you're telling me about. Even those the couple in the pub that I led to the Lord, got them to pray what we called the sinner's prayer, accept Jesus. But then there was never any more contact, and I that's not the design of heaven. When Jesus said in Matthew 28, go into all the world and make disciples of all nations. To make a disciple takes time, patience, perseverance. It takes relational walking together in life. It's preparing them to be lifelong followers of Jesus and to be disciples who make disciples who make disciples. And so if it's going to all the world and make decisions or get converts, there's not a lot of discipleship. So the later revelation I've received later in my life is we've had a huge emphasis, or I've had a huge emphasis on the make a decision, but I feel like heaven's got a huge emphasis on make disciples, make them into lifelong followers of Jesus. And I think because we didn't do that bit well, we got a lot of immature followers of Jesus, or maybe, and this sounds harsh, I don't mean to be harsh, but Sunday attenders, come to church, that's a whole expression of my faith. And I'm not sure we've done the make disciples part very well. Not that church is the be all end all, but I think if you're a follower of Jesus, it'll always end in community.
Well, we have the expectation of who's making those disciples, right?
Yeah.
The Great Commission doesn't say, go out into all the world and the corporate organised church will run a program to make disciples.
Right.
It doesn't say
No,
that.
no.
It says you go and make disciples.
Yeah.
And I think one of the negatives to the organised church over the last 20 years is we've become very good at putting on programs for people that in some ways enable us to cruise, because the church, the organisation of the church will do it for us.
Right.
Now, it's got an important part to play in those things, and it can equip, like you say,
Training and equipping.
And is that one of the main purposes of a church, to train and equip the people to go and do it themselves? Absolutely. Is there also a place for programs? Absolutely, there is.
Yes, there is,
But I think what you challenged me on with your message was invites are awesome and really important, and they help. But just thinking Alpha's going to do all of it is a mistake. I've got people in my life I can spend time with. I've got people in my life that I can read the Word with, that I can help disciple through to an understanding and a decision, both of those things at the same time. When you were talking on Sunday, my brain went back to a message that Dave Bennett did a while back, where he was talking about Ephesians 15, 15 to 17. I'll just read you the parts that are relevant to that. It says, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity. Now, the point in that whole sentence that Dave laboured on was the live part. In the Greek, the word was peripateo. I believe that's how I said it. Dave will tell me if I get it wrong, but peripateo, which actually means as you walk around. So as you walk around doing your daily life,
make the most of every opportunity. That's great.
And I feel like those two things link very strongly with this conversation. Is that it's not just on a Sunday, it's not just at Alpha, it's as we walk around in our lives with the people that we've got in our worlds of influence, our spheres of influence, we need to make the most of every opportunity to help them understand who Jesus is and what they're actually missing out by not having Jesus in their life. So that was challenging for me. I've got people on my list that I need to put on here. Or my one. I can think of multiple, but I'll start with one. And I'm going to reach out to them here very shortly. You already have reached out to yours, I believe.
I have. I had coffee yesterday with the person that God laid on my heart. I would call them a prodigal, and it was an amazing coffee. I think we had an hour together, just reconnected. Actually hadn't really connected for a long time, so we reconnected. And the question I got was, why did you suddenly reach out to me? And I said, well, we've been in this thing at church about, believing for someone, and God placed you on my heart. I just, unashamed, this is why I'm doing it. I mean, the confidence to lead straight out with that, but also this is a prodigal, so I've got faith background. And then just had a conversation about the why, and the timing was incredible, and we're going to continue to catch up. This is a journey back to community and back to faith. because I've got to live it too.
Yeah.
And this is why I have you here today, is talking about, because we have this, the church is an enterprise, an organisation, it's big, it's got lots going on, but at its core, it's a family, it's relational, that's how Jesus wanted it to be. I love that you mentioned Alpha, because it's a program, but it is a program that by design has said, we realise this has to be relational, so you come, you have a meal together, you bring a person, you don't just send a person.
Yeah.
But when it comes to raw evangelism, I think that's where programs get us into trouble. And I think a program says to a person, or it certainly does to me, you can opt in or you can opt out of a program.
Yep.
Jesus didn't make it a program because he didn't make it an opt-in, opt-out. This is as a follower of Jesus, this is a lifestyle. It's not a program. You are not a program. You were never designed to be or to just do a program. Programs for evangelism, fine, but evangelism is for everybody. And so Jesus was clear on that. He said to his disciples, who were fishermen, by the way, that was their trade, nothing wrong with it. It had purpose, it was important, but he said, come follow me and I will make you fishers of men. And when you link that to the Great Commission, he's saying, come follow me. I'm going to train and equip you to go into the world when I'm gone and make disciples of all nations across the whole world. You can't do that with a program. It has to be more than a program. And so this is the heart of Christ. If John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he sent his one son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish. His heart is for the whole world to get saved. That can't happen in a program.
No.
That can only happen when a movement of people say, I'm going to do this naturally. And that's why we've broken it down to, you can believe for 10,000 if you've got the faith for it. That's fantastic. But I think a lot of people, they kind of opt out because it's too big. But they can believe for one. And then we've simplified it, Tim, just down to pray. I think we underestimate the power of prayer. I think prayer is one of the greatest tools God's given us to prepare people's hearts for a conversation. So before I went to my meeting yesterday, I've been praying for days, prepare their heart. I think salvation is always a work of the Spirit, illuminating someone's heart. The scriptures say the gospel's foolishness to those who are perishing. So without the work of the Spirit, I can't convince you that it's not foolishness.
That's right.
It has to be a work of the Spirit. So I believe in the power of prayer, and I believe people struggle with prayer, and it's a really important tool. Pray for people. Keep praying, preparing the soul. I just pray as simple as this. Prepare his heart to receive something today of the gospel of hope. Let them be open today, not closed off. Let them be vulnerable and willing to talk about where they're at. Lead the conversation. Let me put hope. Let me leave them with hope. And then if I get the opportunity, it'll give me the courage to pray for him or have, say what I need to say. The invest was the coffee, and it was the, hey, let's do this regularly. So it wasn't just a one-off. I'm trying to get a decision today. This was, we're gonna invest time. I'm gonna invest courage. I'm gonna invest pastoral care into your life. Then it's encourage them. So being an encourager in their life. People are attracted to those who encourage them and build them up, bring life to them. Literally encouragement means put courage in. So be an encourager, be kind. I think we underestimate the power of kindness and encouragement. I think we think we've got to be something supernatural. I'm attracted to people who want to encourage you, want to be kind to you, want to give you time and
It's
attention.
your story of your journey to faith, isn't it? Really?
It's my total story.
Yeah.
The whole mercy led to mission thing, I even forgot was my own story when we got that from God. Of course it was my story. Your brother Matt, I call him, his heart is merciful. He represents mercy to me, and he was the one who stuck with me through all the garbage I brought to church with me. As merciful and kind, his kindness, the kindness of the Father leads to repentance. Scripture tells us that. So being kind and being encouraging, being merciful, is my story. That's why I stuck around long enough to hear the gospel. Then testify, be willing. That is your story. Tell them. I tell my story, no issue at all. Just share about your story when you get the opportunity. And then an invitation. The invitation can be many things. You've given people invitations over the years. You and Terry Lee, brilliant, opening your home up for lunch. Come have lunch with us. And that's not even just a loss, but it's just to people. It's a lifestyle. But that invitation of hospitality, that invitation to your world, it's saying, I've realised discipleship's a journey, and we've got to do life together.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think that's all really helpful stuff. I'm going to swing back to something you just briefly mentioned, which is a pet thing for me. You talked about church being a family and organisation. Yeah. Sometimes in the stratosphere, we talk about those things being some sort of false dichotomy where it has to be a family, or it's not an organisation, or it is an organisation. Right. It's all of those things. Yeah, church is a family. It is an organisation. It legally has to be. It is a corporate thing. It is an individual thing. All those things. Yeah. But the one thing that doesn't change is that we are the church.
Yes, that's right.
And it's all both and. the answer is always both and. The organisational church, as a group of people together, we can achieve so much that we can't individually. And individually, we can achieve so much that we can't corporately. And so I'll give you 2 examples of that. What we can achieve missionally, internationally, by pooling our resources together and making a significant investment in a country like Thailand. None of us can do that individually.
No.
But corporately, it makes a big difference. But let's put it this way. If the church ran a program that saved 200 people, discipled them, that would be incredible, right? We've got over 2,000 people on our membership. What if everybody reached 1?
Yes, right.
Well, that's over 2,000.
I know.
So if you're thinking of it in discipleship standpoint, I don't think the corporate organised church can ever achieve as much as the individuals within the church doing their part in reaching the lost and discipling them. And I think that's how God's kingdom was set up. Disciples who make disciples who make disciples. And that is part of what our church family does, and part of what our organisation's job is to equip people to do that. So I think this is really great. I think it's really encouraging. I'm going to be using this as a catalyst for me to really reach out to people in my life, and I encourage you guys to too. But
my simple encouragement, that's so good, Tim. You're so right, and we are all those things, and we should be all those things, and the early church was set up with structure right from the start. So I totally agree. I've always struggled with the how-to with evangelism, and we've had so many iterations of how to do evangelism over all the years. A lot of them are culture-based. How do you reach your people? And there's nothing wrong with that, but I reckon Jesus wanted it to be simple and wanted it to be accessible to every person who's a follower. And that's why we've just simplified this down to everyone believe for one. Let's start there. And it might take 20 years. But the reality is I think everybody should at least have a heart for one. So it's not outcome driven. You know, as I've said, you can't save anybody. That's a work of the Spirit, but you're certainly part of the partnership to discipleship. But just simply to write a name down, have the courage to believe God for one, pray and invest. Just trying to simplify it. It should be natural. It shouldn't be unusual. It should be just a natural part of doing life with people. And so I'm just encouraging again, life groups. You know, if hopefully you've got a hold of the card. If you haven't, we'll get you one. But the card's just literally a reminder. I'd love you just to have a conversation around why has reaching out to people who don't know Jesus become so hard? I know in our Western world we've got a whole lot coming against us of wanting us to be silent. I think there's a spiritual component to that. I think the enemy wants the church silent, but heaven wants the church speaking. When I say the church, us as individuals, to be talking about faith. But why is it so hard? What are some of the narratives of the world that we've given way to that we need to resist and stand against? We need to pray, and we need to ask God to give us fresh eyes to look again at people's needs. I think we confuse people's cynicism over the church with their cynicism about Jesus, or their negativity about the church. We could all have negativity about some of the things going on in the world with the church. And we confuse that with, they won't want to know about Jesus. Well, no, they will, and they're interested in spiritual things. Give us eyes to see that afresh. I don't know if I don't think they need prompting on a whole bunch of questions.
No.
A conversation, an honest conversation about where do I struggle? What's my next step? What has been roadblocks to me wanting to reach out to a family member or a friend or a workmate? What are some of the challenges? I'd love some feedback on that. What are the challenges we're facing? How can we help equip the church? What do you need when it comes to this stuff?
And if you're good at this, share with your group tonight. Tell them how you do it, what's been successful for you, and share that. We'd love to hear some testimonies as we go through this journey together. Like, send through if you've had some success, you've reached out to your one, you've worked with them over a period of time. Make sure you don't just go and keep that to yourself. Share it with your life group. Share it with the church. Send it through the email. Let us all know. So it's testifying to the success of reaching out and helping disciple somebody else to ultimately to faith. And soak this thing in prayer. I think that's one of the big points on here is pray. Tonight in your group, name your person that's your one if you're willing to in your group, and pray for that person as a group. Let's really soak this thing in prayer.
Brilliant. We love you. Have a great night, and we believe in this next season in church life we'll start seeing some fruit, some people finding faith. But God bless you. Have a great night.
Good night.